Combs. What do we need to know about combs and detangling and dematting? First thing, I love to use the combs as the second tool whenever it comes to detangling and dematting. I call the comb the honest friend. So they're gonna tell you whether you need to work a little bit more here and there on the doggy or you're good to go. I love to use a coarse comb as the first go with longer pins. This one has 1.5 inch long pins. This one has 1 inch long pins. And this is a medium coarse one and this is a coarse one if you compare the two. And you want to go with metal pins. Now there are some combs that are metal and they are awesome and sturdy. However, the pins, the end of the comb is so sharp. I'm not going to tell you the brand. I'm going to tell you the brand to get. I'm not an affiliate or anything. This is the Resco comb. And the other comb was like 80 bucks. And the pins were so sharp. This is for professional use and for show dogs and whatnot. The pins were so sharp that when I use it on myself, whatever I can, I try it on myself first before I put it on the doggy, so I get a better view of what's going to happen to them, so I can better expect their behavior to be cooperative or not so cooperative. And whenever the case, then I'm just not going to use the tool. And I was like, holy crap. And I never used that thing because it was just so sharp, like it left lines on my skin. So make sure you're getting a comb which has rounded tips. You don't need balls on the tip because it's just going to get stuck in there. It's not fun, but you want something that will be nice and rounded and comfortable around your skin. Now these two are awesome and amazing. Both are very comfortable. You don't need a super long comb because for once, you're not going to use the whole thing on the doggy either because most of the dogs are not dinosaurs and they're not going to have like that wide back. Even if they do, the back is curved, so it's not going to be like you're going to be able to work on everything. So I wouldn't get the super long ones, just a tiny handy one which will be easy to maneuver around the doggy's legs, belly, neck, ears, whatever you're working on. You want to make sure that the handle is comfy for you, especially in case your doggy has a longer coat or for winter time or just for fun because you like it that way. Because using a comb with a teeny tiny thin handle will take a toll on your fingers and hands, so you're not going to be happy for combing and you're not going to do it that often. So you want something comfortable and fun, so you're going to be able to use it well. Make sure to pick a comb that has long enough pins to penetrate your doggy's coat. So in case your doggy has 1 inch thick coat, I would use the 1 inch. Or in case your doggy has shorter, then I would still go with the 1 inch. In case you know that your doggy's coat is going to be different for winter time, you can either get 2 of these for summer and for winter, or you can get a winter length so you can use it for summer coat as well. In case the comb, the pins of the comb are longer than the actual coat, it's not a big deal. But in case they are shorter, you really need to make sure that you're working on the coat enough so you're going to be able to get to the skin, because the critical mistake happens to doodles is that whenever people are not going deep enough to meet the tip of the comb with the skin. And when that's the case, there's going to be a layer matted by the skin which will result in short shaves. And all the work, and it's so sad because when I shave the hair off in those situations, I can see on the coat that, let's say this is the hair length, and the doggy's coat is like 80% perfectly brushed out and combed out, absolutely top notch. And there's a layer with tight mess. There's no way it can be opened up because it's so close to the skin. There is no safety and comfort grip in there. So it needs to go. And when I show it to the parents, they are so sad because all the effort went out through the window because of that tiny mistake that they did not use the comb, or did not use the comb at all, or did not use the right length here. So you can get lengths from 1 inch, 1.5 inches, or 2 inches, and whatever your doggy needs. How do we use the comb? Whenever we are combing a doggy, we need to go with the hair grain. So with the hair growth, whatever you prefer. So most of the time the doggy's coat grows this way, and we just comb that way as well. The most important to remember is to put the pins right to the skin, so whenever you're moving it, you need to keep it that way. Because if you go like 45 degrees, you are going to press on the doggy's coat under the comb, and it's going to be harder to move it in the coat. So where do I use the comb and what do I use it for? I use the comb all over the doggy, every body parts, except for the ones where I already know there are mats. I need to work on the mats or just shave them off before I would move the comb around there. The comb is for detecting. This is the honest friend that will help you to make sure that you know that where there are tangles and mats present. So you're gonna be able to go back to the brush and open it up gently, or use a shear to loosen them up and brush them out, or use the clipper to shave the area off. After brushing, I love to use the comb in the coat all over the doggy to make sure that there are no tangles and mats and the coat is absolutely ready for a haircut. Whenever there is a comfort grip between the skin and the plant part, you can use the comb in a way to remove the plant part in a way that you grab the hair between the skin and the plant part to block any sensation to the skin, and then you scoop the plant part out of the hair. It's the second best method to remove plant parts because it's not that gentle on the coat. I love to use the brush for that purpose, because in case the plant part is a little bit tangled in the coat, then with the comb, since the pins won't wiggle, you are tearing out of the coat from the safety grip. It's not going to go to the skin, so you're not tearing it out from the skin, but it's still going to tear the hair and it's going to damage the end, so it's going to be more prone to tangles and mats, and it's just going to look funnier and feel funnier if you're doing this on a bigger surface on the dog. So use the brush first, and use the comb bits in case the brush is not available or you can't make it work to remove tangles and mats, but I would just probably snip it off instead of the comb to make it easier in case you can't get your hand on the brush for some reason. And when it comes to combs, as we were talking about in the comfort course, I use the flea comb to scoop out eye boogers from the inner corner of the eyes or from around the eye. Sometimes the outer corner gets some boogers as well, and I can scoop them out in case they are nice and soft. We are talking about that in the comfort section, so check that out to refresh your knowledge about that.